Hi, I'm Sky, and I write speculative stories for kids and adults. Wait, hold on. Welcome to my first YouTube video. I have wanted to start a channel for about a year now, but I figured since I am going to go out on submission with my literary agent soon, now would be the right time to start one so I could capture the process of being traditionally published. I consume so much AuthorTube and I love the community here. I especially like write with me or edit with me videos because I use them as body doubling, so I figured that's what we would do here today. We would do a little editing together and I could do AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So today I'm working on my middle grade horror edits for my agent. This edit has been primarily focused on tightening the pacing, increasing the tension and suspense, and adding layers to the underlying mystery of the horror. I am near the end of this process for this edit because I've been working on it for a few months. So today we're going to be working on line editing. So just to give you an idea of how my editing process has gone, I printed my manuscript out and had it bound at Staples, and then I marked it up based off of my agent's edits and my own thoughts with post-it notes and a pen. I found this incredibly helpful. That's why I'm sharing it with you now. If you haven't done this, highly recommend it. And if you don't want to print it out on paper, but you want it off of your computer just to look at it in a new light, I would definitely recommend PDFing it and sending it to your Kindle or to your iPad or whatever is available to you, so you get to look at it a little differently and you can get into that editing mindset. This was super helpful. So let's edit. Let's do some AuthorTube Newbie Tag questions. So we'll start with the first one, which is, how did I find out about AuthorTube? I found YouTube as soon as I got back into writing. I love YouTube. It's always been nice to have it in the background when I'm working on other things. I use it predominantly for body doubling to get me to focus when I'm writing. What genres do I write in? I tend to write in speculative genres, and I primarily write horror and contemporary fantasy for middle grade. It's my preferred writing tense, POV, and category. It really depends on what I'm writing. I tend to write in past overall, but when I'm writing kidlit, I like to write in first person, and when I'm writing adult, I tend to like third person. I will use present tense at some point in one of my stories. I have a YA that I actually think would be really, really good in present tense, but that's a project for another time. Sky from the future here. I realized as I was editing that I completely missed a question, so we're gonna do that now. Am I a plotter, pantser, or plantser? I am a plantser. I'm a reformed pantser. I found a bunch of plotting techniques over time that have worked for me and just adopted them into my routine. I really find value in having a plan, but I like to leave myself a lot of room for flexibility because discovery writing is incredibly important to my process. I will definitely do a video about this. I think it might be helpful for folks who might have been in the same boat as me, where they need a little bit of flexibility. Plotting seems overwhelming. Stay tuned for that. Bye. Do I self-publish or traditionally publish? I am currently working on getting traditionally published. What is my dream publishing company and literary agent? I already have my dream literary agent. As a middle grade writer, there are so many publishing houses that I would be thrilled to work with, from Penguin Random House to HarperCollins to Scholastic to Disney Hyperion. I really do feel like the options are limitless. What can you expect from my channel? I'm not an expert. I'm going through the traditional publishing process and I want to bring you with me. Those tend to be my favorite videos where you're along for the ride. So expect writing vlogs, updates, and tips and tricks that I have found helpful that I'm hoping will help other people. When did I start writing? I have been writing since I was a kid, filling up notebooks with stories since I write, but I didn't really take writing seriously until 2020 when everybody was stuck inside and I found writing to be this amazing escape. What is the first story I wrote? I can't remember the first story because I've been writing forever, but the first book I can tell you about. It's a middle grade paranormal adventure set in DC. It was the first book I queried with. It did not get me an agent, but I am so hopeful that it will find a home at some point in the future after many edits, I suspect. But I just love the story and I love the character. So hopefully more on that in the future. What authors have inspired me? This is a tricky question as a writer because I believe that every piece of media that you consume, whether you like it or not, can act as inspiration. But there have been so many authors that have guided me and inspired me with their writing. Emily Dickinson is probably one of the top ones. I wish I had taken a whole class just on her in college. Her writing is transformational, and it might sound a little funny coming from a middle grade writer that I'm so inspired by a poet, but there's something about her writing. Mark Twain, who I did take a class on in college just about him, and I hope I'm even a quarter as funny. Margaret Atwood, Grady Hendrix, Rick Riordan, Catherine Arden, Jenna Lee Yoon, who is my mentor, who I love. There are so many sources of inspirations. I could probably go on forever on this. Do I schedule my writing sessions? Yes and no. I have found that I have to have a time where I'm writing regularly, and I've really shifted that around. Since becoming a parent, I write almost every night. I also think you have to be flexible. If plans come up or you can't write because you're so exhausted, then skip a day or write it at a different time. I used to be a 5 a.m. Writers Club member, and I loved that schedule, and I would really love to get back to it, but with how my life works right now, it's gonna be a little while. Where do I type? At home, I work in my office and from the couch. But when I'm out, I work at coffee shops and libraries and museums. I move around a lot. What do I most look forward to being in AuthorTube? I'm looking forward to connecting with other writers. On social media, I've really enjoyed making silly little videos, and those videos have brought so many wonderful people into my life. So I'm looking forward to exploring longer form videos and seeing how I like it, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with writers in a new way on a new platform. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment and let me know what we have in common. I hope you'll consider subscribing and joining me on this publishing journey. Bye!